Connecting the SWAC, the MEAC, SIAC, and the CIAA. The HBCU experience lives here. It's the HBCU Report with Bob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsandBrews.com, your official source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. You got your boy Rob Calloway here on another Saturday morning. We are live via Spreaker.com. In addition to Spreaker, we can also be heard via iTunes, the TuneIn Radio app, and also Google Play Music for Android. Good Saturday morning. Hey, it's going to be a great day, man. Got the SWAC Championship coming up today, 4 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock Central. ESPNU is where you can catch it. Grambling State University taking on Alcorn State University in a rematch of last year's SWAC Championship, but things should be a little different this year. As we know, both teams, have kind of I don't want to say one is taking a step back and one is taking a step forward, but record-wise, Alcorn is 5-5. They were undefeated in the SWAC last year, if I'm not mistaken. I got the notes right here. Let me pull them up. But Grambling, undefeated in the SWAC this year, 9-1 on the season. Their only loss at the hands of Arizona, a game where, I've talked about it on this show, where if Devontae Kincaid, the quarterback for Grambling, doesn't go down in the third quarter or late in the second quarter, Grambling has the chance to really win this thing. But yeah, so it's going to be a good game today. I mean, last week for you all that had the opportunity to check out the 43rd annual Bayou Classic, you saw Grambling put up big numbers against Southern, 52-30, right there on the NBC Sports Network. And I think that that game was just an indicator, if you will, as to what we can expect in today's game being played in Houston, Texas, the 2016 SWAC Football Championship. Big shouts out to Coach Broderick Fobbs and also Coach Fred McNair. Of course, he's a friend of the show. Coming up in the next few weeks. Of course, this is one of the final 2 games of the year on the HBCU calendar. Coming up on the 17th, we'll have the second annual Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl being played at the Georgia Dome. And, so next week, it'll be kind of like dead week for HBCU football. So whoever loses today's game, we're going to have them on the show next week, just to reflect on the season and close the season out, if you will. But if you missed last week's show, we had 2 shows last week. And really appreciate everybody because, by the way, we have gone over 1,000 downloads, yes, for the season. In 13 weeks, we put up 14 shows. And we went over 1,000 downloads. Now, in a perfect world, we would have gone over 1,000 in the first week or the first 2 weeks or even the first 10 weeks, which would have been about 100 per week. But, hey, beggars definitely cannot be choosy. And I'm not going to, I'm not going to do that. So big shouts out to everyone, shouts out to everyone that took the time out to download, share, listen, whatever you did. We really appreciate you guys, or whatever it is that you do on a weekly basis. We really appreciate you guys for checking us out. Don't forget, we are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at HBCU Report. And as I was saying last week's show, we had Reginald Ruffin and Brian Jenkins from Alabama State as we previewed the Turkey Day Classic. And then on Saturday's show, we had Coach Broderick Fobbs of Grambling State University and Jay Walker of ESPN to talk. Well, of course, Coach Fobbs talked Bayou Classic, but Jay, we just ran the gamut on HBCU football in the year that we've had in HBCU football, and it's been a great one. And if you missed any of those, you can go back, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn Radio app, or Google Play Music for Android and relive those moments. We've had a really good year and I hate to get on my soapbox, but I just have to say this. And I'll just tell this little story, and I'll tell it as short as possible. But for those of you that know me, you know my career. For those of you that don't know, I think I had a good career going at one point. And I've been doing radio since 2001. Actually, September 11th, 2001 was my very first day being told that I was going to be a part of a radio station, and it was the launch of XM satellite radio. XM, what was it? 61 The Flow, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the channel, but anyway, shouts out to Tracy Luttrell, WHUR. She was the first one to actually, give your boy a look. But anyway, we had this great sports thing going on over at CBS Radio Atlanta, and the Sports Kings, and there was different variations of the Sports Kings for different reasons. But we had a good thing going over there. And, after the Sports Kings show, it came to an end. It wasn't our doing. Shouts out to Big Mike. You can check him out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 to 9, right here on Spreaker.com. One Mike with Big Mike. Really good show. And actually, if you follow him on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter at One Mike with Big Mike, that's the number one, BIGMAMIKE WITH BIGMIK. I forget. What is it? The number one MIC, excuse me. One Mike, MIC Mike. Yeah, with Big Mike. Don't tell him I tried to spell that and just botched it. I listen to him say it all the time, so slick. I just tried to do it and I just botched it. But anyway, so we had this good thing going. But when the Sports King show came to an end, I actually launched the HBCU report in the fall of 2013. Yeah, 2013 is when we actually kicked this off in Atlanta, CBS Radio Atlanta. And, the show was the show. It ran from 7 to 10. It was a 3-hour show. And we're still looking to get back to that point where we have the time to actually put together a 3-hour show. But it was a 3-hour show, and it was really, really, really hard work. And I was able to pull off some really, really great things on that show. But I never got the dude that I felt I deserved. No, nobody ever said, "Good job, Rob." Nobody ever patted me on my back. Not that I need that, because I'm not even one of these people that need that. But at some point with the guests that I was getting, even when we were doing the Sports King show, with the guests that me and Mike were able to go out here and get, and I'm talking about we were beat down the pavement. We were trolling folks on Instagram or Twitter at the time, Facebook, whatever. Like, we were doing whatever we had to do to be able to land guests. And, when I launched the HBCU report, I kept doing the same thing no matter what I had to do. Like, I was trying to let folks know, hey, I have this show and I really want you to be a part of it. And I was just having to be in your face. And I was able to land some great guests, and nobody ever said, good job. Nobody ever let me see any ratings or anything like that. Not that I thought the HBCU report was a ratings buster, but I would have just liked to have seen. And there are just so many things, that I'll say, that I can say, but I'm not. But at this point, with the way that this show is going, and again, I thank you all, not trying to be on my soapbox, but I thank you all for tuning in every week. I thank you all for downloading. I thank you all for listening, because this lets me know, just doing it on my own and seeing the way that you guys are listening and the areas, the different places that are actually listening to the show. See, that means the world to me, and that makes me keep going, right? Because I know that we're making waves. When people are emailing me and people are reaching out to me via social media and they're saying, hey, heard the show, we want to be a part and we want to do this and we want to see, then I know that the show is going in the right direction. And that's all I ever really wanted when I launched this show, was for, somebody to say, hey, Rob, make sure you do this, or hey, Rob, So anyway, again, not to get on my soapbox, but I really, you guys have no idea how important those 1,000 downloads are to me. Seriously. Sounds like small fries to some people. But for this to be a grassroots movement, like I really do appreciate it. And I'll continue to work, as hard as possible to land guests on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, just for you. Not so much for me, but for you. Because I could get on here and just go for it. As you can see, I'll just sit here and just vent. But yeah, man, this platform that we have here, this new digital means of being able to broadcast, no shade to the amateurs out here, but there's some folks out here really trying to get it, like me and my crew, we out here trying to get it, however we can. Internet, live radio, broadcast, satellite, whatever. We out here getting it. So I just wanted to take the time just to say thank you. Because I know I have some folks that have been listening to the show since its inception, at CBS Radio Atlanta's 1380 WLK. And for those of you that follow me on social media and keep up with the show, I really appreciate it. I do. I really, really do. But anyway, man, coming up on this week's show, got a thing that we're going to start doing here now that football season is over, the Saturday Conversation. And so we're going to kick off the Saturday Conversation. Oh, man. Okay, so looks like we just lost connection for a minute, but we're back up and running. Unbelievable. What in the world? Oh, my God. We were just down for a minute. Okay. Coming up on the other side, we were talking with Greg Coleman, the very first African-American drafted into the NFL. FAMU's on Greg Coleman. Joins us next. What is this, man? Right here on Spreaker.com. Somebody shut me down because I got on my soapbox. Nah, this ain't that kind of spot. This is the HBCU Report, and we are powered by SportsNewsandBrews.com, your official source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. I am Rob Calloway, and we will be right back after these words.
I heard on the news about that 5-year-old who found his uncle's gun. The kid didn't know it was loaded.
I heard on the news about that 14-year-old girl who was bullied online for like a year. She couldn't take it anymore, so she got her dad's gun from his nightstand.
I heard on the news about that guy who broke into someone's house, stole a gun from the hall closet.
He accidentally shot his cousin in the head.
She killed herself.
And later, killed the owner of the store he was trying to rob.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
HBCU sports fans, you finally have a voice. The HBCU experience lives here. This is the HBCU Report with Rob Calloway.
This is the HBCU Report, being heard via Spreaker.com. We are powered by SportsNewsandBrews.com, your official source for sports, black news, political news, and the latest on your favorite craft beers. Rob Calloway here, and right now, we're being joined by a trendsetter, if you will. I like to try to grab these trendsetters when they're available. He is one of, if not the very first African-American punters in the National Football League. He was actually drafted in the National Football League. He hails from Florida A&M University. Greg Coleman joins us on the line. First of all, Greg, thank you for joining us on the HBCU Report.
Hey, it's an honor. It's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure, Rob. How things going down in the Big A?
Yeah, man. Things are going